to menTEA Talks. Today we're going to be talking about budgeting. So the name of this session is I Got 5 on It. And that's all I got 5 on it.
You're always at 5 only 5. I got the whole done. I'm just joking.
All right. So clearly this is going to be an exciting conversation, but let's first start off with introducing ourselves. My name is Maria.
My name is Amanda.
Alicia.
Amaya.
Mahogany.
Brianna.
Cassidy.
And Stacy.
Woo!
Yeah!
Alright, so I just have a question for you guys just to open up the floor. My question is, what is your biggest financial fail so far?
Can I do this one? Okay, y'all.
Wow.
I'm gonna be really honest.
I already know this one. I know, it's already A.
I'm done with you.
It's McKenna.
Don't listen to the slander right now. So seriously though, in another one of our episodes, you heard me talking about graduate school. So I was applying to graduate school. My dad got me a credit card, had a $5,000 limit. I'm 19. It just didn't mix. So yeah, I used the credit card to, like, you know what I'm saying, go on my graduate school interviews, and what my dad did was like pay me the money to pay off the credit card. But then I graduated and still had a $5,000 limit, and so that was really problematic. And I racked that credit card. I had 5,000 worth of credit card debt. I did, and I think that was one of my biggest fails, is that I did not understand the power and the hold that credit card debt has on you. And I think it was just a testament to me not being disciplined. And I talked a little bit in the graduate school one about me just not being mature enough for certain things. And I don't think that at that point in time, I should have had $5,000 at my disposal to just swipe away. And if I got into a financially tough situation, Dad, Mom, can I get, you know what I'm saying? And so I got into really bad habits with credit. And then I got another credit card that had like $1,700 limit on it, and that was just also not a good decision at that point where I was in my life. Now, of course, I'm sure there are plenty of like 19-year-olds that are like way more responsible than I was. But
It's a lot that's not. It's a lot
more
that's not. Yeah.
I was just really irresponsible with my credit card debt. And then you look at it, and then it's like, damn, I have, darn. You have $6,700 worth of credit card debt, and what am I supposed to do with that? And I'm still in graduate school. So, like, I was super stressed out. And
It's a thing.
And now I'm like down to 700, and I just vowed to never have that much credit card debt ever again in life.
Can I just kind of say one thing? You know, they always say like it's two types of people in the world. They're not, but there are. The rich, the wealthy, and the poor. Wealthy people use debt to get rich, and poor people use debt to get poor. There's a way to use debt to get wealthy. So don't be afraid of debt, because there is a way to use debt to get more money. So I'll just say that much before we dig in deep.
Yeah.
I'm sure all of
It's
us
not shopping at a kiosk, y'all.
Yeah, it's not. But yeah. So I'll just say that.
But just to make you more comfortable, I did the same thing, and I had a job, so they really gave me some credit.
Yeah.
Right. Thanks. We've all been there.
They was throwing like big limits, $8,000, $4,000.
Yeah.
And I was really just graduating from college and getting my first corporate job. Like, I knew I didn't have money, but I thought I had a little cash. And like, I just went crazy. My first apartment was super cute. And, you know, my apartment was nice too, all the furniture, everything. And then life started happening. So that was manageable. But what wasn't manageable on top of that was just life. So my mom got breast cancer, and I was traveling back and forth all the time, putting miles on my car, and I had to help her. So like, that's when it became unmanageable. And that's what sometimes I feel like we don't prepare for, is just the unmanageable parts of life that happen to us that we should prepare for. Things that you would not even imagine could happen to you. And it's just important to live as frugally and as possible. You know, I know people are like, they were frugal or whatever, but just as manageable as possible, given any potential circumstance, as much as you can. Obviously, you know, there's only so much you can do, but just think like that. And for me, that has been now more so much helpful in terms of how I plan my money. So I know we were going through a period where we wanted to get a dress every time we went out, and it was like encouraging each other. It's just, girl, wear that dress in that closet that was super cute. Whatever meeting you wore, wear it in. And so, and sometimes, you know, I even wear my dresses like another time, like that. It was a cute dress.
I had that syndrome so bad, which is why I wrapped up with here. I was just doing some. Now that I look back, I'm just like, what was I trying to flex for?
The brown.
The gram.
The brown, girl.
Now, when I did have a gram, my gram was a little popping, just like a tiny bit.
You were working on the brown.
But honestly, I could not figure out why I was spending the money that I was spending on silly stuff like that.
Yeah.
It's mind blowing now that I look back on.
The only thing that I absolutely want to push is that we've all been there and we've all survived. You have $700 worth of debt now. I don't know where you're at now, but I had a crazy amount of debt too. I did some debt recon settlement program. Now my credit score is looking better. I bought a house, 30-year mortgage. It was a horrible decision. It was a horrible decision. Bounce back from it. Now it's rented out Section 8. I'm moving in a positive direction. So if you don't take our advice, like most people don't take the advice of others that credited your stamp, you need to get it in, you know what I mean? You need to be on top of it. If you don't take our advice, just don't let it hinder you from finding ways to get out of it, move forward, you know what I mean? And bounce back from it, because I think I'm 27 and I was bouncing back from it fine. I started the ruining my credit at 18, 19, bounced back from it fine. Now I'll be going into my 30s fine. So just find other ways to deal with it. That's all I can say.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, I wouldn't call like any of these necessarily failures. Like I feel like it's a part of the process. I feel like there's a lot of things, particularly speaking for the Black community. Yeah, I'm gonna bring up race every time. That I think we just don't. It's not a part of our culture necessarily because of different types of disenfranchisement, access. I mean, there's a bunch of things that have limited our culture from being exposed to how to handle money because we weren't the top people to receive the money. There's a lot of things to it, you know? And so I think that's how I have to keep approaching it. Like, I'm like, wow, why is it so hard? Because there's a lot more like complexities that are a part of like us managing our money. Exactly. And I think another thing that I feel like has come up a lot lately in our generation is like this concept of generational wealth. And a lot of it is like rewriting what generational wealth means. For my parents, generational wealth was connecting people, network. So yes, I can call somebody an X, Y, and Z company because my parents are putting me in contact. That's how they chose to invest. We don't have any property besides our house. You know what I mean? Like my mom owns our house, and so that is one property that eventually will be accessible to the entire family. But there's not, on the south side, there's not all these different properties that we have and we're getting extra income from. And so I think now you see a lot of people purchasing houses, renting them out for Airbnb, doing all these different things with real estate as a form of generational wealth. And it puts a lot of pressure on you, especially if that's not how your parents decided to present generational wealth to you. And I think that's my biggest thing. My failure is allowing other people's journeys to achieving financial wellness be a standard for mine. And it's just not that. Like we were talking about self-care the other month. We were talking about self-care that one time, and I got really sick in April. I had to quit my job. Had to. Then I had to move out of my apartment in June into another apartment that I have to move out again because it's just not working. And I finally got an apartment that I'm like, I could be here for a minute. And I'm like, I had to say to myself, like, I'm not even tripping that I'm not buying the condo that I wanted. I need to get healthy and reestablish my routine and then reestablish paying off my debt on a consistent basis. Like I was going ham. you know? But when you quit your job, right, we all know. But when you quit your job and you quit your job out of like self-preservation and not because you saved up thousands of dollars to quit your job, you just gotta figure it out. And that's my thought. Yeah.
And I'll piggyback on that. So like for me, I was like, I didn't wrap up a lot of